Hello, this is Patrick Ash, sort of author, sort of musician, definitely an elder millennial with the angst to go with it. And today I'm going to do a review of the rare and rather interesting Gibson N-225 guitar. I believe it only came out, or it was only produced in 2013. I think there might have been a few late 2012 ones. It's hard to find the specs online, so I'll try to, do some of the basics. I will say, like so many Gibsons, especially of that era, like the mid 2010s, not very good QC, right? So the one thing I found necessary was replacing the nut, because if I bent, particularly like the B and G strings, it would fly out of tune, and I'd have to immediately stop and tune it back, or push down behind the nut, things like that. But that's common of so many Gibson guitars, particularly in that era. So I replaced it with a Graphtec nut. Now, if you decide to do that, here's my warning to you. It was the old nut was glued in strong. And so I was used to, you can probably see the IYV guitar behind me. That was pretty easy to, I used a, see here, one of these to a little kind of marble block, along with, a polished cloth to knock the nut out. The IYV was easy. Took me a couple minutes. This took me closer to half an hour or so, and even still, it took off bits of wood. So might be able to vaguely see that, and definitely on the side there. So anyway, but yeah, this is a bit of jack of all trades. Those are what the reviews at the time said. It's a little bit SG with these kind of horn double cutaways. It's not technically a semi-hollow or semi-hollow guitar. I think they call this chambered. So like they've still got the wood down here through the middle, and it's hollow here and there. Some say it gives it a little more resonance. I don't know about that. You be the judge, but I think it's a cool look anyway. I think it has a lot of character. And of course it has this bridge with the Vibrato, which I think this unit was popular, I want to say, like in the 60s, particularly with SG guitars. But I'll just say up front that, at least as it is on this guitar, I'm not crazy about it. It does not feel nearly as smooth as the trim systems I've used on Strats, or certainly not like a Floyd Rose. I currently have a Vega trim on my Strat, and that is fantastic if you want a really, really nice trim system that's not Floyd Rose and doesn't use a locking nut. Anyway, so I'll do sound samples in just a minute. But real quick rundown, of course, it's got the P90 in the neck. It's got the Dirty Fingers Plus humbucker. I love this humbucker. I've played on other guitars. And it also has the coil split for that pickup, for the bridge pickup, so you can get single coil sounds. So I'm going to do, it's funny, I think the commentary usually gets more attention than the playthroughs. And tell me how you really feel. It's okay. Or don't. I'm not claiming to be any kind of expert, just kind of another, wandering soul in the music realm. All right, and of course it has block inlays, as you can see. It has a split diamond logo that's not used very often. It's usually for, the Les Paul Customs, but it's beautiful, of course. And it does have, this is a cool feature, the locking Grover tuners. So it makes string changes a lot easier, quicker to do. I think that was relatively new back in 2013. And it's much more common on new guitars now. All right, so if you want to see the back of it, this is the cavity with all the stuff, and here's where the strap pin is. All right, I'm going to do some clean play. This is on the neck pickup, this P90. I've avoided P90s for a long time because they usually sound muddy to me, but a lot of Gibson, I do tend to, for all of Gibson's other problems, QC and whatnot, I do really like their pickups, and this P90 sounds fairly clear, I would say. Of course, I'm playing on the cheaper version of the high watt, the T20, and this is all clean. I'm not using any kind of effects or anything. That is the P90. Let's cut between the two and here is got some good sustain, the bridge pickup. Of course, if you use the coil split, it sounds got a little bit more interestingly. Sorry. I actually don't think it sounds that much brighter with the coil split on, so that's single coil mode. Although it's a little bit quieter, you can probably tell. Here's some basic modulation effects. I use Memory Man delay and the compress, photo optical compressor PC2A, and from Electrode, and the Analog Man mini chorus. Okay. Neck pickup again. Obviously, it's a little bit thicker with these effects. Mid position. And this is without the bridge without using the coil split. It's a little more hollow. Here's the coil split bridge pickup. All right, so those are the clean sounds, both the amp by itself and with basic effects. So let's try some not so basic effects. And here I use the Wampler Pinnacle Deluxe for a little bit of kind of brown sound inspired distortion, and the Tree of Life overdrive. So neck pickup. Here's the split. And of course, bridge. So I'm playing out of rhythm like shit. Pretty good sustain. Actually, that was on coil split, so here's back on regular full humbucker bridge pickup. I do like the arpeggios with this pickup. Let me try to do one of my own songs. All right, let me just real quick before we wrap up, use this Vibrato, which I'm gonna, spoiler alert, I'm going to modify this guitar because I'm not crazy about it. All right, so on clean, back on the neck pickup. It's very stiff and kind of not nearly as fluid as other, Floyd Rose or your standard Fender Strat trim systems. Because you can kind of hear that it's got this plastic bit and it kind of, it's real noisy. So if you want to do like dive bomb, you can kind of do it, but I'm sure it's messing with the tuning. So, like other Gibsons, like that have any kind of a trim system, it's nice to have the option. I think it makes it interesting. I'm sure I can check the tuning and it won't be quite right. So I'll just say that I'm not crazy about this. Doesn't feel very smooth. This is gonna help when I try to resell it, right? They're gonna find this video and be like, see, it sucks. But anyway, so I have not actually ever played a Bigsby before, so I don't know how that would compare, but it definitely feels stiffer compared to like the Vega trim I have on that Strat right there, and obviously Floyd Rose systems. That's what most of what I've used. So my thought there, especially since some reviews of this guitar complain about neck dive, it feels fairly balanced to me about there. My solution to this is I'm thinking I want to give this the Evertune treatment. So I'm currently looking into seeing if I can do that. Just sent in for a quote yesterday. So, all right, we'll see if that happens. If that does, then I will probably sell this unit if anyone actually wants it. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I kind of want to just do a real quick gear overview on this guitar. It's very cool. I think the review said it was jack of all trades. I actually think it's quite unique in itself. It's got so many, as you can hear, a lot of options for like this P90. It's not too muddy. It's fairly clear. It's a step closer to a humbucker from a single coil, is what it sounds like to me. And I really like this this pickup. I probably could have cranked it more, but being concerned about sleeping family. So yeah, definitely let me know if you have any questions about it. I hope that was a decent demo. I don't know, I'm never sure how that goes. And here is the N-225. I also think it's been you can see it's got a cutaway right here, makes it a little comfortable, a little easier access. And I think it's also partially inspired by the Gibson Nighthawk. So obviously it's got some SG features. It's also a little bit thicker than an SG, a little bit closer to a Les Paul, but doesn't have that contoured top, of course. It's a flat top. So it's just mixed. And also, you know, this chamber design makes it look a little bit like a semi-hollow, like the ES335 or something like that. So it's a mix between various guitars. I think it's a very cool mix. And that's my opinion. Let me know if you have questions. See ya.